Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
and Spotify.
All this is going viral.
You've been on a golf course and been chased down by a goose.
Oh, sons of bitches.
Oh, they're terrible.
I hate the geese.
Who knows?
The
You might
worst
have.
thing is when you hit the ball over by a bunch of geese,
Right.
and then you have to go over there, and you're lucky that you're on a golf course and you got a long pole in your hand, a long stick in your hand that's made of metal or graphite, depending on what your preference is, because then you have the upper hand in that battle. And I think they realize it for the most part on a golf course.
Plus, I think most people don't want to hurt the geese.
Right. I don't want to hurt a goose, but man, if it comes after
but
me.
Even when they come after you, don't want to hurt them. You just want to use that club to keep them at bay.
Push them away.
Until they get you. Right. And then they're done. Go ahead and bite me, you son of a... Then you're done. Well, you'd probably much rather have a chicken come after you than you would a goose, right?
I don't know. Chickens... I don't like chickens either.
Apparently the chickens... It was a peaceful protest that went to extremes.
Is there anything peaceful about a chicken? Crap everywhere.
Not if you're hanging out outside of McDonald's. They were done being chicken McNuggets, apparently.
Police today responding to a call for a, quote, flock of chickens wreaking havoc at a McDonald's in New Jersey. The chickens were harassing and chasing lunchtime drive-through customers in Washington Township. Warren County Animal Control Officer Robbie Lagonera was able to capture both angry birds after a bit of a chase. They'll stay in custody for a week, then go up for adoption if their owner does not come forward.
I would love to see that video of people running from chickens. I mean, normally we're chasing chickens around to catch them, to eat them. Off with their heads. These chickens had had enough. And as you could hear there, they must have been from a local farm or something. I don't know how they all showed up there.
No, chickens are dumb. I started to have
they're very dumb.
Fleeting thought.
Most birds are.
Fleeting thought that maybe the chickens knew that, there was a lot of consumption going on at that drive-through window.
No more chicken at this McDonald's. Eat beef.
But then there's no possible way. I told you about the time I fed a chicken, right?
No. No, this was something I remember being a kid, and the wacky morning show would go to the fair, and they'd be broadcasting live from the fair, and at 7:20, we're going to feed a chicken.
Is that what they did?
It was Kent and Allen.
Did they really do that?
Yeah.
I was drunk on...
Chickens will eat anything. It doesn't matter what you give them.
On a cruise, and then we're on like an island type of thing where, they take you to a private island where they have all kinds of these things you can do, snorkeling and stuff like that. It's beautiful. It's really, really pretty. But then they have you go to this eating area in the middle of the island for your lunch. And it's a cruise, so everything's buffet. And I love Jamaican jerk, man. I love Jamaican jerk. It's so good. And they had Jamaican jerk chicken. So I was drunk, so I just loaded my plate up with Jamaican jerk chicken to the point where I was never going to eat that much.
Is it chicken breast or is it chicken thigh? Is it dark or white meat?
This was legs and thighs.
Oh, okay. Much better.
Yeah, I think so too. And so I loaded it up with that chicken, and I'm sitting there, and there's a chicken, because it's an island in the Caribbean, there are chickens everywhere. So the chicken comes walking up to me at dinner, or at the lunch, or whatever it was. And he's like, and he's like just hanging around, waiting for something to fall off the table.
Waiting for somebody to feed him his brother.
And I was like, I wonder if a chicken would eat a chicken. So I'd peel up, because as much as I like Jamaican jerk, I wasn't going to finish all that chicken on my plate. So I took a little piece off of a drumstick, and I put it down on the ground. Sure enough, ate the chicken.
Yeah, I tell you, I think they'll eat anything. They're scavengers.
And I felt really bad afterwards. I was like, I wonder if that chicken realizes what it just ate.
I mean, they're not smart enough. I don't know. They're food. And I'm just not one that, I don't feel bad for chickens. Even though I did feel bad for that turkey that I killed at Lake Lopez driving out. And I shouldn't feel bad. I don't feel bad anymore.
They're dumb birds, too.
I don't feel bad anymore.
They're dumb and ornery. Yeah. They're worse than chickens. I mean, these two chickens were very ornery, so it sounds. But, I mean, turkeys, man. Oh, I know. I put them up there with geese. I'm not a fan of a turkey.
You ever gone up to these roosters in the village? I've seen them around, but I've never gotten too close. Mm-hmm. I just, within 10 feet.
Yeah,
you stay over there.
I'm not hanging with. I'm not
I don't
hanging
know
with
what
them.
kind of. Maybe
We're at Bill's place once, and some jackass come walking inside with the chicken.
with
The rooster.
With the rooster?
Yeah, with the rooster. Look, what are you doing?
I'm drunk.
I'm drunk. I got a rooster.
I figured I'd put this rooster up on the bar. We give him a shot of Jameson.
Anybody got any Jamaican jerk chicken laying around?
Things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
About 10 minutes away. Hashtag free beer. If I said, here you go, Jeff, you want to have a beer? I'll give you a free Busch.
I take it. I like Busch.
Or you have to give me $2 for any other beer. Any beer.
I take the free Busch.
Really?
Yes.
I would not.
Why?
I don't like Busch.
Busch is great.
Busch has got a new
Busch for
promotion.
5 years, probably more
Busch
like 8
Light.
years.
Busch Light.
Well, Busch or Busch Light, it doesn't make a difference, does it?
I'm out of Busch. Busch Beer is now offering $1 off beer purchases for every inch of snow in 31 states. Now, this isn't how much snow fell today or tomorrow. This is how much total falls between January 1st and March 28th. So it's $1 off for every inch. So if you live somewhere...
What is $1 off?
The beer.
It's $1 off one beer? Because I can guarantee you a Busch beer doesn't even cost $1.
No, I think it's purchasing it at the store.
So like a case of beer.
Yeah. Or a 6-pack or a 12-pack or an 18-pack or whatever.
Busch does the 30.
Or the 30. Apparently, if it's not in California, though, there's only 31 states involved. And so if you listen to us, somewhere else in another state, and you live in Alaska, Arkansas, Connecticut, or Florida.
It'd be too hard to calculate. In Florida, this is promotions going on in Florida.
Yeah.
But it's going on in Connecticut where it actually does snow.
Where it actually snows.
Well, that's kind of a raw deal for Florida. I feel bad.
There's nowhere in Florida they're going to get any snow.
And here's the thing is...
in each of the 31 states, customers get $1 off any Busch product for every inch of snow that piles up from January 1st through March 28th.
What is where are they measuring it in these states? Because, like, in California, it's a logistics nightmare. You couldn't do it because you have the mountains where we could get 60 inches of snow.
Yeah, you could go up to the mountains and then, for every inch of snow, you would get.
But here, obviously, we're not going to get any snow whatsoever. So
we're not even included.
Right, I understand that.
But Florida is.
I'm just saying that in Florida, it's a possibility. It could snow up in the Panhandle.
Texas.
Well, in Texas, is Texas one of the states?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Houston it never snows, but in North Texas, yeah, it'll snow.
They don't really. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But all the Montana, North Dakota, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon,
North
Washington,
Dakota, you should be getting a credit.
West Virginia.
You go pick up the beer and then they give you cash. That's how much it snows there.
Right. My point was, I would still rather pay for any beer than somebody hand me a free Busch.
Why? Well, don't be an elitist now. Come on, you weren't an elitist in college. What happened to you?
I grew up.
What do you mean you grew up?
I have a job. I don't eat top ramen anymore.
But still, free beer is free beer.
I need to save my money, too.
Well, then, this is a good way to save your money. You get it free.
Because I want to buy the Knight Rider car from David Hasselhoff. I saw pictures of this thing. What do you think the opening bid is? He's going to do an online bidding for it. It's his kit. It's one of the kit cars. It's a legitimate kit car. It's got all the electronics in there and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, it doesn't really activate the turbo boost and shoot rockets out of it. But
come to pick you up when you talking to your wrist and say, "Hey, kit, come."
But it is one of the cars they used in the movie.
Yeah, that's still not cool. I mean, you take a look at the cars that they have out now, and
if you're a collector,
I guess. If you could have any car from any television show, which car would you want? Or a movie, for that matter. Any fictional car.
Mine probably the original Batmobile.
Yeah, Batmobile.
The original, the OG.
Hands down, Batmobile. No doubt about it. No, I'd take the new version, too. I don't care.
But kit's up there somewhere. It's probably in my top 5. Maybe my top 3.
How many?
There's not that many cool cars.
Cars are there on shows? What about
the E-Team Van?
What about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
I didn't watch. I don't even know what that is. Anyways, they think it's
Car
going to
can fly,
start.
for God's sakes.
They're gonna go for about $450,000 is what they think that the bid will go for.
I think that's overpriced. What do you think? As the guy that won't accept free beer, you probably think that's adequately priced.
Well, let's just hold on labeling me as a guy that won't accept free beer.
Elitist.
I will accept free
Liberal
beer.
elitist.
I don't want Bush.
Liberal elitist.
I
That's
don't
what
want
you are.
Bush.
I'm labeling. Everybody in the media is labeling. It's the thing to do, Jeremy. So I'm going to say that you're a liberal elitist because you won't accept a free beer.
Hashtag update. The Dr. Drew thieves, burglars.
Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre and Dr. Drew are two very
Did I
different
say
people.
Drew? Sorry. Dr. Dre.
It's like,
I'm having an aneurysm now.
What did Dr. Drew do?
Dr. Drew. Dr. Dre in the hospital communicated. We talked about that earlier. TMZ broke the story. We called TMZ Dumbass of the Day. We probably should have called the people attempting to rob his house Dumbass of the Day. They did rob his house. They got out of the house, but then they were arrested. By the way, looked it up. A $40 million mansion is what Dr. Dre lives in. $40 million could not keep these people out. Come on. It's crazy. But they did get arrested, so you could sleep a little bit easier. That somebody who has a $40 million mansion got it broken into, but they did catch him.
So if you want that kind of security, get a $40 million mansion.
Let's see. Hashtag it's back. Punky Brewster reboots. All going to be on Peacock. All 10 episodes. Is Peacock free?
Yes,
Is it free
I
for now?
downloaded it the other night.
I haven't watched
Finally,
anything
because of
else.
The Office. So this is how it works. You have to pay if you want full series for the most part. Like The Office, they offer up the first 2 seasons for free, and then anything after that, you have to pay for it. That's $4.99 a month.
I'm not interested
That's the
in
only
that.
place you can get The Office now. You can't get it on Netflix.
That's not true. I have DirecTV. It's on Comedy Central and a couple other networks.
You got to set
I
your
just
DVR and record it. and all
Yeah,
that
well,
stuff.
that's not a hard thing to do.
Well, don't you have space on your DVR?
I have a lot of space on my DVR.
So you have that. So that's an option, but you're paying for it. Would you?
I do have to fast forward
would you
through the
rather,
commercial.
Would you rather pay $4.99 a month or pay what $49 a month?
I do. We pay $49, but we have a lot of channels.
Mister, I won't accept a free beer.
I might have to.
Hey, Mister Moneybags over there throwing all your money
I'm paying
around
for
on beer and
Netflix,
cable.
Prime. I'm paying for the DirecTV bill. Then
I'll
there's
take
the
that.
internet bill. I mean, God.
I'll take my first 2 seasons and the Bush on the house. Okay.
On high gear at the base of the wine.
Jeremy would rather go broke drinking this kind of beer as opposed to
I know that's exactly what
as opposed to drinking Bush beer for free. 805-543-3693. Jeremy would rather go broke because he says he's grown up and he can afford to go broke.
I never said go broke.
Drinking
I just said I would rather
drinking
drink
this
any...
kind of beer than he would.
To know the show, 946, KZOZ.com to follow us there, 805-543-3693 are the numbers to get through, 805-543-3693.
Okay, not going broke, but he said he'd rather pay $2 for this kind of beer versus getting a Bush beer for free. What was your cheap go-to beer, Seth, in your I guess,
Well, I remember
non-grown-up days, according to
you could
Jeremy.
look like in college, you could look like a big shot when you showed up with a whole case of Milwaukee's Best,
Oh, really?
which I want to sue for false advertising. But and usually you could get a $4.99 warm case back in those days.
Where was Milwaukee's Best? You're just saying it's not the best beer that comes from.
Oh God, no! That's why it's false advertising. But we were into quantity, not quality.
Is
then.
it?
Rainier Ice back for me in our day.
Meisterbrow was a big one.
Wasn't Bush beer? Isn't there a slogan? Come head to the mountains of Bush.
something like that? That
Which
sounds
is
right.
also false advertising because I've been to St. Louis before and I don't see any
mountains.
I think that was the town they left, so they could find the mountain.
They painted the arch and made it like a mountain or something. Yeah, and who knows where it actually came from,
Head
right?
for the mountains of Bush. Where's these Bush mountains that you speak of?
Head for the mountain.
Well, you've stumped
Maybe-
everyone because there was a trick question.
It was a trick question. Jeremy hates trick questions. He likes it to be obvious.
No, you got it. For some people, you got to make
It's
things
not
pretty
that,
obvious.
No. It's not that
When you
I
know the
hate
answer,
trick
it's obvious.
questions. I just know that people listening, they're not good with trick questions. It needs to be very obvious.
Jeremy said he would rather have any other kind of beer than a Busch beer. Now, I asked this question to you, Jeremy. Is the scenario like, okay, you can have this Busch beer for free, or you can have a mystery beer for $2? Whatever comes out of the hopper, you get. Are you still taking me up on that offer? I mean, do you hate Busch beer to the point that's
It's just a bunch of blank taps.
Let's see. It's roulette.
I'll have a glass of water.
Well, Busch is close to that anyway.
I love Busch. I love Busch beer. It's
You know,
so good.
it seemed like not that long ago, one of the local
For a cheap
bars,
beer,
I think
it's
it was that bar that used to be Terry's up there in Tascadero. They had like Busch on tap it was the cheapest price, so it kind of made you. And after a
Nice.
few, I mean,
Who
cares?
I know a guy. He's old too. He's got to be 80-something. He's 80-something years old. He drank Busch beer for decades, and then he started coming over and visiting us at my buddy's place on the river. And then he started drinking Coors Light, and that's what he drinks now.
You
switched to
got
Coors
conditioned,
Light.
huh?
He switched to Coors Light because he realized what he was. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, why? I'd rather have beer, but I'll go with Coors Light.
Busch or Keystone?
Water.
Come on.
I went on a chartered boat, and that's all they had.
Keystone Light is just Coors Light. Just like I would contend that Busch Light is just Bud Light.
Well, you remember their selling point wasn't even the beer; it was the can it came in.
Yeah.
It was like that. It's special insulation or something.
Oh, the Keystone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottle insulated can.
Never mind what's in it. We got a really good can.
Special liner.
You know? Yeah.
Hey, does not trust China from the 707 road, and it says you guys need to learn the difference between a trick question and a poorly phrased question. That's at you, Jeff. Taking a shot.
Doesn't trust us either.
Taking a shot.
Well, I'd have been here sooner, but I was out listening to the latest album from Dr.
We
Drew.
do manufacture Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew's latest it dropped
A
today.
little hip hop.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we do charge. I mean, the manufacturing prices on our questions can't be beat.
Well,
just
but-
like China.
And, you know, an answer, and you get, what, $20? Federico,
Yeah.
right?
Now tomorrow you get 40.
Win-win. That's quite a return on
Tomorrow the
investment.
question's going to be even harder. And I'm sorry,
No, it won't.
it's going to be even more poorly phrased.
Okay, so what was the question, and why is it poorly phrased? You think?
Jeremy said he'd rather have any other kind of beer than a Busch beer for a Busch beer for free, or any other beer for $2.
Why'd the $2 come up? Just
Because it was an arbitrary number.
because you doubled the value of a bush?
God, it's you know, the questions, they're too many. The $2, what's the matter about the $2?
But when you
Why?
asked,
Why
when
is
you
that
asked
so
the question,
important?
you didn't
You get
establish.
confused and upset, and then they get louder and stuff. Yeah.
When you get
No, it's like when you ask somebody
Yeah.
a question and then they ask you a question and then it's like about nothing. I'm
I'm
trying to-
going to continue to ask you the question about nothing, because when you asked the question, you said, I would rather have any other kind of beer for $2 versus the Busch beer. And then that's why I was asking you at the follow-up at the end of the show was, you know, well, is it really any other kind of beer? Do you hate Busch that much? Or is it just a thing where you get to pick your beer? Because if you're picking your beer at $2 a shot, that's a pretty good deal.
I really just dislike Busch.
It's too bad. You're missing out.
Now, were they the one that they came out with a Busch Ice when everybody had that ice beer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I might have had that.
Oh my God.
But no, Natural Ice was I think a little superior.
That's what I don't understand. Like Natural Light, by the way, hugely popular amongst the college crowd. It wasn't where I went to college. Busch was the beer of choice. I think per capita, Pullman, Washington was the number one consumers of Busch beer in the nation. Like they consumed the most for how many people lived in the town.
A lot of people heading for the mountains.
Pullman. We're just aimlessly wandering around in the Palouse.
Head for the hills at Busch beer.
Where are these mountains that they speak of? We keep trying to head for the mountains.
Well, what was the answer after all this?
The answer was any other kind of beer.
Oh, anything. Oh, okay. Like
Thank you. That's what you were asking earlier.
Busch is your second
That
favorite
$2,
kind of beer.
why $2? That threw it all into a tailspin.
Where can you get a $2 beer?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, okay.
Happy hour.
Well, so if I asked you
At Applebee's.
your second favorite kind of beer is Busch, right? Everything else tied for first.
No.
Sort of like me in country music.
No. I'd rather have water. I'd rather have water.
Well, that's
Would
a
you rather
minor
have-
principle. I like
there
that.
There was a bar in college that did mystery hour. This is the worst.
You didn't know what you were drinking?
Like, there's no way this would exist today.
No, it was mystery beer.
Mystery
and
beer.
Every hour, the
At
price
Power
would
Hour.
change.
It was called Power Hour. So-
Power Hour was 11 o'clock at night.
No.
Was it the
midnight,
opposite?
Midnight, you could get a pitcher of beer for 99 cents.
Yes.
But in the hours leading up to, so it was kind of an arch. So if you went in there at like 7 o'clock, you could get a pitcher of beer for 99 cents. Then at 8 o'clock, it went up to $1.99. Then at 9 o'clock, it went up to $2.99.
Oh.
10 o'clock, $3.99.
How desperate are
Then
you?
back down to $1.99 at 11, and then at midnight it was 99 cents.
That was Power Hour.
That's for a pitcher, right?
That's for a pitcher.
That's
So at
equivalent
the end
of
of the
quarter beer
night,
night.
you would walk around with a pitcher of beer as if it was a pint.
Oh no, we did that all night. I mean, everybody would probably drink
No.
3 pitchers of beer.
But they wouldn't disclose
And then-
what kind
No,
of beer
you have
they
no
were
idea.
serving
Oh,
you.
okay.
But this
Then
is
you
what
didn't
happened.
care by then.
The next day, besides having a headache, you would have diarrhea all day.
Yes, really bad.
Really bad diarrhea. But yet we still went back every
Now, this-
Wednesday for Power Hour.
This wasn't one of those strip joint
Nope.
pitchers that are about the size of a mug.
It was a smaller pitcher.
So I'm told.
But it was still larger than what you're speaking of. It was a bit on the small side, but not anything.
Well, you know, you are out to make a profit
Right.
and not just kill college kids.
But I'm sure that the beer had like gone bad. Because like Jeremy said,
Gotta get rid of it.
It messed with your intestines later
Oh.
on in the day. Or
Oh.
the next day in this instance.
This is a great conversation, but we need to wrap this up because we just got an email from corporate. Urgent January COVID notice to employees. Urgent.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I can't wait to read it.
Let's go read that.
It's a new year.
And maybe we'll be back tomorrow.
Something to do.
Jeremy, you better rethink your free beer policy.
93.3 KZOZ rocks.